Hello and welcome from Carolina Hockey Central. My name is Trevor Lenzmeier. We're here at Benny Cappella's on Franklin Street for a special edition of Coach's Corner with Jeff Volkman, the key piece. There is no Jeff Volkman. Instead, today I'm joined by a players panel. We have Brendan Radatovich on my right here, as well as Joe Baglio, Vince Boudreau. Gentlemen, thank you for joining me this morning during final season. I really appreciate that.
Thanks.
Awesome. Cool. We'll go ahead and get started. And this can be from any of y'all. You guys can pick either side of this issue. What is one thing that y'all have seen this team do really well this season? And what is one thing you guys think needs to improve going forward if this is going to be a championship team?
Well, one thing that I think we've been doing really well is bouncing back. We started out the season really amped, ready to go. We were excited. We had the same vision. And, as players started getting injured, as things started working out the way they worked out, a lot of players lost confidence, things like that. So towards the end of the season, in this half of the season, once lefty passed, the whole team came together and we were playing like we haven't played before. Thing that we need to work on clearly is third period, which we were able to bounce back from, but we were losing a lot of late games because of, I don't want to say poor conditioning, but a lot of the times we weren't able to hold out as long as the other team was.
Sure. I'll second that. I think we need to keep working on our consistency, but overall, I think we've really come together and overcome adversity as a team, and so that's definitely a positive this far in the season.
Yeah, stole my thunder there. I mean, I think you're right. Just adversity this first, probably 8 or so games, and after that, kind of fishing out strong. These last 3 has been pretty spectacular, and I guess going forward, like you said, playing consistently every period, I feel like we'll probably put the period or 2 together each game. We play really well, but there's that one period or 10 minutes or so where we're really struggling, and in the high point game, it was kind of like really a goal down from these guys. They're, but nothing against them, but we're just, so we ended up coming together and winning that game. But as long as we can get that consistency going forward, I think we'll be set for the championship. So.
Sure. Consistency, injuries, that's not even something you can handle as far as the health toll that this team has taken. Joe, you're obviously particularly a good person to talk about that. How have you seen this change watching from the sidelines for a majority of this season, and what does it mean to be back? Well,
being back is awesome. I was pretty devastated, third game of the season. I broke my leg in 2 spots, back checking, down 7-0, which is pretty rough. So coming back, I was just, like I said, excited to play.
Sure. How have you seen this team change in your absence? It looks like the same squad when you left, or improvements?
We look like a completely different squad. This year we had a lot of players come in, and they've really stepped up into their roles. The leadership's been really coming around. Where, like I said, at the beginning of the year we were excited, but we didn't really know how to go, how to get moving. And leadership is really able to come into play. The younger guys on the team have been able to step up. The coaching staff has stepped up, and everybody's following along with the Booster Club. So it's a completely different squad from the beginning of the year.
Sure. Now transitioning towards that, which is playoffs, which is obviously the goal at the beginning of every season. What's it going to take logistically as far as points to get into the playoffs and more of a mentality thing? What's it going to take for this team to kind of rally around and make that push? So basically, how far out are we from the playoff picture right now, and how do we change that going forward?
Well, it's in our hands. We have 2 league games left. We need to win those games.
Sure.
Technically, there are other ways. We can win a game and lose the other one if such and such a team loses. But really, we need it. Our mentality is we're going in there to win these next 2 games.
Sure. So big games. Are there any others in the next half? I was to play state again that you guys have the circle around.
I think we're playing state at PNC, so maybe that one. And then I guess the Duke game for those seniors and out. So.
Sure.
Guys too, yeah.
Now in those 2 games when it's you can lose and still go, but really the team mentality is about controlling your own destiny. What's going to take to win those pivotal matchups, those pivotal games?
Yeah, to be quite frank, I haven't given a lot of thought to who our opponents are really going forward into the next semester. I think what we've invested this semester thus far is coming together as a team and really building our chemistry, and I think we've demonstrated that we can do that going in. Ending the semester with a 3-game win streak. So I'm very confident that we can go in with the chemistry that we have and win as many games as we have on our schedule.
Sure. Chemistry definitely has been clicking lately on this streak. What's it going to take for the streak to continue?
Like you said, just keeping at it.
Sure.
We know what we need to do. We've come together as a team every day. It's not like we're playing High Point today, NC State tomorrow. It's okay, we have a game today, let's go ahead and win. We know what we need to do. We just need to come together and do it. That's what we've been able to do.
Stick with the process.
Yeah, there you go.
It's all about the process.
All about the process, absolutely. Now, in any case, y'all, we've got 3 captains here today. AJ Hamill, Ben Sizemore are not here. Those guys are other big leaders on the team, another set of seniors. Y'all are in similar positions. Lot of outbound leadership from this team. What does it mean for y'all, A, to lead this team as captains, and what do you kind of see as this team going forward with this big group going out?
Well, we do have a lot of strong, seniors here. It's a primarily senior-driven team, but that doesn't mean that the underclassmen aren't huge, pivotal roles to the team.
Sure.
We have a sophomore line that is unbelievable. We have a couple of juniors here in the freshman class, and it's part of the club process is you have people coming in and out of the program quite regularly.
Sure.
So while we are full of a bunch of seniors this year, it could be a completely different team next year.
Sure.
So it's tough to think about what's going to happen next year with a lot of guys not returning, but we're just going to take it one day at a time and focus on the next half of the season.
Sure.
I mean, in 2015, when we won the ACC championship for the first time, we had a very strong group of seniors, and we knew that we were losing them. And it just so turns out, and I believe that's the case today, that we had a very strong group of leaders on the team that weren't wearing letters on their jerseys. And I think next year is going to be a similar story where people are going to be able to come in and fill those roles really easily.
Sure. Now, without kind of putting anybody on the spot, have you guys seen some of these younger players step up already? And if not, who do you really expect to see step into that role next year?
There are a couple of really good players. Brendan can tell you about that.
Yeah, I mean, I think just from like a on ice kind of standpoint, maybe not a leader just because he's a little younger. I think Andrew Jordan's definitely gonna just do super well next year. Really good player, really shifty out there. I think he's gonna do well. I think Jonah Grafius too, and Nick Keith. Those are 2 guys that have been in this program for a while. 3 years, and I think that those guys will probably take the reins next year, just lead the team, especially the whole club perspective too, with everything else that goes on with the university. So absolutely, I think that they'll do pretty well.
Sure. Now, this last stretch here, these last 7 games of the season, it's tough. You guys are right in a playoff fighting position. This is the hockey that we all live for. What are you guys most looking forward to for this final stretch and really making a claim for hopefully the Admirals Cup?
I'm looking forward to playing for the Admirals Cup.
There you go. Yeah. That's what I like to hear.
That's the vision.
That's the vision, absolutely.
Yeah, in hockey, you never know. I mean, when it's playoff time, you never know what's going to happen. I mean, 2 years ago, we were 5th seed and we came through with the win. And so you never know what's going to happen in rivalry games. You never know what's going to happen in the third period. So I'm looking forward to it.
Sure. Now, going back to something that I've covered a lot with Coach Volkman, directly before the 3-game win streak after the Wake Forest game, we lost Coach Lefty. You guys might have had different experience with him as a matter of how long was spent in the program. What do you think that he meant to either you personally or to this team?
Well, I had a pretty close relationship with Lefty. I took care of his dog a couple times.
Sure.
I mean, he came around, and every time he talked to the players, he just touched them individually. He would just talk up to guys, say things that wouldn't necessarily be the things that stick out in our mind. As guys that grew up from 1990 to 1998, like he's had 70 years or 60 years of experience on us. He just had a completely different way of thinking about things. So he was able to come through and really, make a big impression on a lot of us, even if he wasn't necessarily close with everybody.
Yeah. He's one of these guys that had this undeniable excitement and passion just to be there, and it was contagious. And everyone was excited when he walked into the locker room, and kind of laughed a little bit with him. But I mean, he'll be missed, but we're going forward with that energy for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're fine. Yeah, Joe's a really good guy. Definitely really cared about everything off the ice too. Schoolwork and everything too was a big thing that was important. So he will be missed for sure.
Sure. Now, speaking to that last point, I think what was most personally alarming, because I was at the Wake Forest game, was how sudden it was. Did y'all notice a pretty quick shift in the kind of locker room mentality or the feeling in there? You said he kind of brought light to the room when he came in. What was it like coming back to the state game just days later, or to practice even earlier than that?
It felt really weird, because like we said, he was just that presence. Him being there at practice and games, even in between periods, just the things that he would say, the things that he would point out that other people really wouldn't even notice. It was awesome, and it definitely was missed. And I really don't think it just really sunk in necessarily with us until probably after we won that game.
Sure.
Beforehand it was all for him, but I think afterwards it kind of finally did sink in that he was gone, and that we had done something for him that was pretty great and that he would really, really love. So
Sure. Well, gentlemen, at this point, we're kind of going into that pivotal point of this season. We've kind of mentioned what's gone right so far. What is going to be one little thing that needs to change, or one thing that y'all can do better that is going to guarantee, the fruition of the vision, basically, that we're going to end up in the Admirals Cup come February?
No, I mean, going into a big break like this, we need to stay in shape. I think right now all of us are healthy, or most of us are healthy. We just need to maintain our mid-season shape.
Sure.
And just bring consistency.
Sure.
And work hard every practice, every shift, every period, every game.
Sure.
I couldn't agree more. I think conditioning is a huge aspect, and just staying with it so that when we come back, our first league game is, I want to say it's the first weekend we come back.
Mm-hmm.
So if we're not ready to go, we're in trouble. Just keep those wheels moving.
Sure, absolutely. Now, we've mentioned kind of a lot of different topics, what we think is been working, what could use some improvement. Whether it be a game or something, as Brian mentioned earlier, the camaraderie, what are you most excited for to return to with Carolina hockey when we come back in January? For you, kind of going towards your swan song, unfortunately.
I can't wait to beat UNCW.
There you go. All right, absolutely.
I'm excited.
There you go.
It's been a week now without a game, and I miss it. I want to get back on the ice. Yeah.
Absolutely.
that's so weird. I guess just that push for the cup, and we got to get a Hawktail in here. So maybe that's it.
I just want to go on the ice. I'm pumped every time I go on the ice. If it's a practice, it's a game. They're all cool, man.
It's been like a fish that can't swim. I mean,
Exactly.
it's not even been fair. Well, in any case, that's the end of our show here, gentlemen. Thank you so much for taking the time to speak with me. Hopefully y'all have a restful break, and we'll come back right at it against UNCW. I believe that first game is Saturday, the 12th of January at the Orange County Sportsplex. Once again, this has been Carolina Hockey Central. My name is Trevor Lenzmeier. This has been a special edition of Coach's Corner with Jeff Volkman, this time, as always, on Franklin Street at Benny Cappella's. Thanks so much.